school principal. I am so happy to be here today to honor the class of 2017 as they graduate from high school. This class came upstairs, they entered the upper school as I entered my role as principal. Much of what I learned about leadership, I learned with these students and their parents. We learned together. It's been a privilege, and I will always feel a very special connection to this class for that reason. I'd like to acknowledge the presence of two important people in CTA who are here today. Rabbi Henoch Millen, previous head of school, and the first head of school in high school. And my predecessor, former principal and original principal of the high school, Mrs. Marcia Hirschfield. To have you both here, and thank you very much, and Rachel. A few announcements. If everybody could please silence their cell phones right now. We have a professional photographer here, as you see, Mr. Lawrence Coulter, who is taking a video of the entire ceremony. Anyone who would like to purchase that video should let Norma know by email tomorrow. During the ceremony, if you want to take your own pictures or video from your seat, you are welcome to do that, but please do not come into the center aisle. You'll notice the graduates' names are in speaking order on the last page of the program. Okay. And before the graduates come in, we would like to welcome the Columbus Tour Academy faculty, followed by the graduates.
If everyone can please rise for the singing the Star Spangled Banner and Hymn.
Thank
Yvonne Import and Julie Chase will get our program started with reading from Tehillim.
שיר אמר לו, לדוד הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, שבט אחים גם יחד. כשמן הטוב על הראש ירד, על הזקן, זקן אהרון שירד על פי מידותיו. כטל החרמון שירד על הרי ציון, כי שם ציווה אדוני את הברכה חיים עד העולם.
A Song of Ascents by David. Behold, how good and how pleasant is the dwelling of brothers, moreover in unity. Like the precious oil upon the head running down upon the beard of Aaron, running down over his garments, so the dew of Hermon descends upon the mountains of Zion. For there Hashem has commanded the blessing. May there be life forever.
We call up Dr. Dan Chase on behalf of the Board of Trustees. Dan is a former board president, and he is here tonight also as the parent of a graduate and the last one in the house.
Welcome, distinguished rabbis and community members. So I was sitting in my office on Friday afternoon. I got a phone call from my wife, and I can hear Norma's in the background. I think my wife was holding two phones at once, which is quite unusual for her. And I got the call that our esteemed president, David Burnswine, by the way, is doing a wonderful job. Is going to be out of town on Sunday. Could I take his place and reach you today? And I said, certainly. I'd be glad to do that, and glad to be here. We are sitting here in the walls, within the walls of one of the world's greatest secrets. What better mensch factory is there in all of Hashem's world here on earth? Year after year, door to door, we transform young men and women into mature mensch who make a good name for our city and for our community. I'm especially aware of this phenomenon in the current graduating class, in which my daughter Julie has grown, surrounded by her wonderful classmates. We are also grateful for the tireless dedication of our outstanding teachers and administrators who have put their heart into their work, and their effort clearly shows. Rabbi Drandolph is impressively transforming the culture within our school. This month we had a wildly successful fundraiser, and this is just the start of what he can do to transform our school by sharpening our focus and reaching for high yet clearly attainable goals. To the class of 2017, I'm confident that you are fully equipped to hit the ground running and begin to transform your lives and those around you. Remember to have Hakar Satov, appreciation for how CTA has made you as you see yourselves today. We are sure you will do us proud as you proudly declare to the rest of the world, I am a graduate of Columbus Tour Academy. I present to you the class of 2017.
Last week, in the high school hallway near the elevator, I noticed laminated pictures of my class from when we were in the first grade with Ms. Tanneman. She was nice enough to come upstairs and show us some of our work from when we were much younger. I saw pictures I drew and sentences I wrote that struggled to make any sense. After class, I went to look at these pictures. There I was, a fraction of the size I am today, hanging out outside during recess without a care in the world. The picture of who I was back then, a little boy who just liked to go out and play sports, is much different than the picture of who I am today. As I walked through the hallway and saw those old pictures, I began to contrast the pictures of who I started off as and who I am as a graduate. Reflecting at the sight of these pictures of when I had just started school made everything more real. I'm not that little first grade kid anymore. I've grown a lot physically, obviously, and mentally. I've also learned a lot about life. CTA has impacted me in many ways. In our sports teams, working hard and not always coming out on the winning end taught me some patience and how to deal with losing. Academically, I've learned that education is more than just a grade so that you can get into university. Education is so that all of us standing here today can become young, refined young men and women who make the world a better place. Today, I'm not just a kindergarten graduate or a junior high graduate, but a high school graduate. The people who came into our class over the years made a huge impact on myself and the entire class. If it weren't for knowing I'm coming to CTA, I'd be the only guy here. Full disclosure, I'm the only boy remaining from those pictures I saw laminated on the wall in the high school hallway. It's real now. This chapter of life that I started 13 years ago is coming to an end as I graduate today. I'd like to thank my parents for all the sacrifices they've made, and so that me and my siblings could grow up in a comfortable, observant environment and attend CTA. I'd also like to thank CTA for what it has done for me and my family. We really appreciate everything you do. It's funny. Every person who tells me they won't miss this place ends up missing this place a lot. You don't realize this until you're not woken up by your alarm clock's loud ring at 7 o'clock in the morning so that you can catch your ride at 7:03 to make it in time for Dobby. I know it's going to hit me in August when my two sisters leave for the first day of school, and I'll be waiting until September when I leave for Israel for leave. But I'm excited to take a new picture with everything I've learned here at CTA.
As Peter Pan said, never say goodbye. Because goodbye means going away, and going away means forgetting. I choose not to forget. Therefore, I choose not to say goodbye. I choose to say thank you. Thank you, Columbus Tour Academy, for the past 13 years. It feels like yesterday I was standing on this very stage receiving my diploma, the kindergarten one. You taught me how to count to 100 chocolate chips, how to properly behave in a lockdown, and write the perfect essay. Thank you for starting off my path to my education. I received my first sitter in first grade at Huckett's door. This started off my path of tour education. Since then, I have acted in countless Zooms for every part show we finished as a class, to writing 10 research papers in 1 month on each of the 10 plagues in my second semester of senior year, and made the decision to continue my journey in the pursuit of Torah in seminary next year in Israel. Thank you for giving me the right path not only to love Torah, but to chase after it. On this stage, Shakespeare taught me that the show must always go on. Not everything on stage went perfectly. We missed cues, messed up lines, and broke into laughter at the worst times. But the show still went on. Then came 8th grade graduation. That marked the end of junior high. This is the point when things were no longer for practice, but this was the real deal. Once high school started, we could no longer just be kids. We had colleges to impress. Junior high, with its Shakespeare performance, 8th grade Washington trip, and pre-teen drama, gave us the chance to not just be classmates, but to become each other's brothers and sisters. We got to be kids, have fun, and prepare to support each other through the next 4 stressful years of our lives. This bond has carried me through high school and will carry me beyond high school as well. Thank you, CTA, for giving me my home away from home. For the past 13 years, not everything has gone right. I've gotten bad grades, experienced tragedy, and broken some bones. But here I am, still standing. Thank you for teaching me to persevere and keep pushing through to achieve my goals, even when it's hard. And now I stand here before you, at high school graduation, on this stage for the very last time. Even though I won't physically be on the stage anymore, I'm going to take with me all the lessons I have learned in this very spot. I have learned that no matter what life throws at you, you will get through it. I have learned I will never be alone in life's obstacles. I have learned that there is always more to learn about myself and the world. All 12 of the people sitting behind me have individually made me into the person I am today. They have cheered me on during the good, they have given me a shoulder to cry on during the bad, and they always know how to make me laugh. Thank you all for inspiring me and pushing me to always try my hardest. Thank you all for putting up with my crazy personality, and sometimes when I get a little sassy. You all are going to forever be a part of my second family, whether you will be joining me in Ramat Beit Shemesh or spending next year in the United States. To all my teachers, thank you for teaching me more than just the equations and vocabulary words.
but also to never stop fighting until I succeed, to never give up, and to always stay positive. These are a few of the many things I'm going to take with me and use for the rest of my life. It's crazy to think that many of you have watched me grow up for the past 13 years, even though I haven't grown so much in height. CTA has always been so warm and open. It's going to be hard to leave, but always remember, this is not a goodbye. So take a page out of Peter Pan's book and just say, see you later.
It's crazy to even think about the fact that I'm a senior. It's crazy to even think about the fact that I'm graduating. It seems like just yesterday I was a freshman, the bottom of the food chain. Now I'm 17, going on 18, and an adult, practically. And in 4 short months, I'll be a college freshman. For decades, people have been telling me what senior year would be like. I heard stories of easy workloads and amazing experiences to come. The best years of your life, they'd say, but here I am looking back and realizing that it wasn't always like the stories. Now don't get me wrong, this has been an amazing year overall. It might even have been one of the best years of my life. I had the chance to go to 2 concerts in the time span of a month. I went on amazing adventures with some amazing people. Whether it was walking around Times Square on Black Friday alone with my cousin, trying not to get lost, a long, short 6-hour drive to a small Jewish community in Canada for my first Orthodox Jewish wedding, or marching from Auschwitz I to Auschwitz II Birkenau with 12,000 Jewish teens and adults from all over, and meeting up with that same group of 12,000 teens and adults in the Holy Land a week later to march together, once again, but this time to the Kotel. I made some of my favorite memories during this year. I became friends with and met some amazing people, and my other friendships only grew stronger. On the other hand, many of my friendships were put up to the ultimate test of their strengths. Even though it was a lot to take in on both ends of the rope, thankfully the power and strength of my friendships remained strong no matter what. Embedded within the year are also the unbelievably bittersweet goodbyes. Between saying farewell to NTSY, which I have become very devoted to over the past 2 years, and the people I had spent my entire life with as they move off to college, seminary, or yeshiva, the year was extremely emotional. Today I'm saying goodbye to the school where I spent almost all of my time. In 3 months, I'll be saying goodbye to all of my friends as they move 6,000 miles away, leaving me behind in good old Columbus. I'm not sure what emotion I should be feeling, but panic and sadness are too so far. The truth about senior year is that it ends. It is the year that getting yourself together actually means getting yourself together. It is the year that your friends move away, your routine changes, and you begin a new chapter of your life. It is the year that holds the most memories, the most fun, the most responsibility, the most everything, because it is the final year of unprecedented youth. This year is more of a reality check than anything else. If there's one piece of advice I can give incoming seniors that I wish had been given to me, it's to take this year and use it as a way to learn about yourself, learn what you want to do with the rest of your life, which is totally okay if you do not know yet. Yes, have fun and enjoy every second of your final year while you still can. It will be over before you know it.
Dateline, August 2004. 33 little kids began a 13-year journey called school. Along the way, we had many highs and some lows. Some of us left for other places, others joined, but for 8 of us sitting here today, when we started that first day of school, we are now finishing together. Come September, for the first time in 13 years, we, the class of 2017, will not be getting off the bus, will not be getting off the beat, and will not be getting out of our cars to ring the bell for Lisa to open the door to Columbus Torah Academy. While many before me have said that high school graduation is just the beginning of a new chapter in our lives, this truly is an ending. An ending of one stage of our very young lives that can never be duplicated. It can only be remembered. And it most certainly will be remembered. We will carry with us everything from our years here at Columbus Torah Academy. For us as Jews, we find the famous imperative in Parshat Kedoshim, love your fellow as yourself. This is a great principle in Torah. There are those that believe that love can exist between people only when they have many things in common. Well, we sitting before you today do indeed have many things in common, and yet each one of us is unique. Some of us are athletic, some of us are artists, some of us are scholars. Some are all of the above. Along our journey, we have come to learn many things about ourselves, about each other, and about the world in which we live. We have learned about our strengths and about our weaknesses. We have learned to help each other along the way, thereby ensuring that we ourselves continue to learn and grow. We have learned that the world does not always let us do what we want or wish we could. Through it all, we have learned to love and respect each other. With such a small class, we can sense when something's not right. And when we do, we can go and help attack whatever the problem is and lift each other back up. When we come together, the impossible becomes possible. With less than 50 students in our high school, it may seem like a lonely planet of possibility, but I have found a universe of depth in my experience at CTA. It's impossible to not know everyone. Everyone feels comfortable being around each other. It does not matter if a senior is talking to a freshman. We are all the same in each other's eyes. All of us really do know each other. Those that drive have their own parking space, and even when they are not at school, no one else parks there. Or when certain people are occasionally late, we know that their Starbucks order took just a little bit longer that morning. As a person that has played every sport CTA has to offer, I can tell you that athletics here is something special. There are many lessons we as student athletes are able to take away. Athletics has taught me how to manage my time. With a dual curriculum and practice after school, it was important to make sure that schoolwork stayed a priority. This is something that I will be able to carry forward in college and beyond. Athletics has also taught me how to work with others because it is impossible for one person to be successful when the game relies on a team. Furthermore, athletics has taught me that making a commitment to a team means sticking with it through the good and the bad. Even when the last thing you want to do is come to practice on a Sunday morning or after a long day at school, it is important to remember that you are part of a team. So yes, this is an ending and a new chapter will soon begin. So the faculty and staff, I say thank you. Thank you for these past 13 years in which you've helped me become the better person that I am today. Thank you to Yahoo Answers and Rabbi Arthur Scroll for helping me through when the textbook or rap sheet just didn't make sense. As I look out at everyone here today, I truly wonder what the future will hold. Where will I be in 5 or 10 years? And what will I be doing? The future is unknown and completely uncharted. For some of us, our paths may cross in the future. For others, we may never see each other again. Just know that I will forever cherish all of our memories and the friendships made here at CTA.
Let me tell you in a rhyme, it's been a challenge to get here. From AP exams to basketball, it's been a pretty tough year. We graduates haven't all been here the whole time. And although that's not a priority, I am one of the original 8, so I guess I have seniority. I've gained some friends along the way, friends who will move on with me. Some to college in New York, and some to Israel, across the sea. My fellow graduates, some with me since pre-K, I've got to tell you, it's gonna be okay. Remember the good times, remember the laughs, because there's a long road ahead that doesn't come with a map. You're gonna miss walking these halls. You're gonna want to come back. You're gonna reminisce of the times when you wore a bright blue backpack. Do you remember the moment when we learned to write, when we rode the bus, when we were half our height? Now we do homework assignments, and for good grades we pray, all in the hopes of graduating today. I always thought this day wouldn't come so fast, but now that it's here, I must say, it's been a blast. We made our own ice cream with our business in 4th grade, and we raced in the Iditarod with the sleds that we'd made. We come on time for davening, rushing in with the same lazy hairdo, as we look in our dictionaries for words we don't know in Hebrew. Eating breakfast quickly, trying to be unseen, as we sneak upstairs, hiding our food from Eugene. In science, we created cells made of noodles and used scales to weigh, then mixed various elements for experiments with Dr. K. From binge-watching Netflix, in between 20-minute naps, while trying to finish homework and filling out the Common App. We will take these memories with us, so don't think we'll forget you, because you all are a big part of everything we've been through. As we go to learn in Israel, we leave behind our uniforms from Land's End. We've got new places to go and new schools we must attend. The first chase started in 1998, before we even had grades online. But now the legacy is leaving, because I'm the last in line. We've been here for a while now, but it seems we must go. Thank you, CTA, for helping me grow. Even though we'll miss this place, it's time to face reality. We must say goodbye. We must go on our way. I've been here since I was 5. CTA has made me who I am. So all I have left to say is thank you, and thank you.
In a community, like the close-knit family of CTA, you learn from each member. This is what I've learned from the class of 2017. Julie. From you, I've learned teamwork. As a fellow teammate on our basketball team, you had a creative team-building idea to do an art project. Rather than chasing people away, you had a way of bringing people together. Molly. Thank you for helping me learn that studying does pay off, for helping me stay in position during basketball games, and for showing me that even the quietest people can have big personalities. Shayna. The first student in our class I ever met. I believe that I met you on December 11th, 1998. That's the day Shayna was born. You've taught me the best hide-and-seek hiding places and what it feels like to lose a Kahoot game. Rosie. I think I wouldn't be as knowledgeable about movies if it weren't for you. From the classics to regular films, I know you're always there to fill me in. I mean, what would I do without the insight about 10 things I hate about you? Liddy. Also known as Livers. Also known as an awesome film editor. You taught me about the virtue of patience. I'm grateful for all those times you listened to me babble, even if it was really inconvenient for you. Dasha. Thank you for teaching me that I shouldn't babble when people are studying for tests or ever, even if I really am having a bad hair day. Yaakov. In 4th grade, you taught me that there's people in the world to eat worms. You've taught me that not all dogs are scary, but I was definitely afraid of Levy. Britton. Thank you for inspiring me to become a better Jew. Your religious journey has taught me about how lucky we all are to be going to a Jewish school. Shachar. You've taught me that if you stick to something and persevere, you can achieve goals. I feel like you learned English within a week. That's crazy, you little shooey. Shooey, another thing Shachar taught me. It's a word that means whatever you want. You can understand the meaning of the word based on the tone you use when saying the word. Shachar logic. Gabby. You taught me how to cook plastic food like a champion. I remember the kitchen set in your house. And thank you for all our long conversations about life. Yoni. You taught me that if you hate a nickname, or a song, or anything related to your name, you have to learn to just smile and nod because you're stuck. Noah. Your passion for Torah can be so helpful. Your butterfly speech on regionals was especially inspiring. You told us that we should pursue our dreams, which is something we don't often internalize. Next year, I will be pursuing my dreams, inshallah being for women. I'm excited to spend the entire year in Israel, my homeland. I could not have been standing here today without the love and support from my Savta and Saba Zichrono Livracha, who both taught at CTA, my grandma and grandpa, who traveled to be with me here today, my dear parents and siblings. Thank you to the faculty and staff for the education and relationships I've acquired at CTA. Because of the work they have done, I now have the tools to make a name for myself.
my friends, my family, my classmates, my academic adjudicators. I would like to talk to you today about the character of CTA. Around this time, we are bombarded with confetti and banners. We march to pomp circumstance and stand on pedestals and accept gold medals celebrating our accomplishments. While we are distracted by the bigger truth, we tend to overlook the greater picture. Let me begin with a story. Once upon a time, 3,316 years ago, the Torah was given to Moshe on Har Sinai. There are many important aspects and facets of the story: the transcendent display of miracles, the hearing of God's voice, the death and revival of the Jewish nation, but I would like to focus on a single detail. A detail that ever so slightly precedes the aforementioned events. The mountain on which the event occurred was known as Har Sinai. This was the place where the entire Jewish nation gathered to accept the Torah. But why Har Sinai? We hear it all the time. We are so familiar with the landmark, we often tend to overlook the qualities the mountain possesses. And while it may not be explicitly stated in the text, if one looks between the lines, the reason why God chose Har Sinai becomes apparent. The Midrash states that God was preparing to give the Torah to the Jewish nation. All of the mountains came forth and declared why they thought they'd be fit to have the Torah given upon them. One by one, the mountains stated their claims. I am the highest mountain, said one. No, said another. I am the steepest mountain, and therefore the Torah should be given upon me. And one by one, each mountain was turned down. It was only afterward that God approached Har Sinai. Har Sinai was not the tallest of mountains. It was not the grandest of mountains, and it was actually one of the smallest mountains that might have been chosen. It was then and only then that God decided that Har Sinai would be the perfect fit for the giving of the Torah. And now, as I stand here in 2017, as a member of the graduating class, it is fitting that we reflect upon this story. CTA may not be the biggest mountain. We might not have the most kids or the biggest budget, but the quality and character of the school towers above our mere size. Year after year, CTA produces humble, respectful, and caring young adults. The cornerstones of the school's education, strength, humility, and respect make CTA a perfect fit for the giving of the Torah. Hand in hand with humility goes gratitude. This moment would not be possible without the unrelenting guidance of the CTA staff. As for my class, many of which I have known for the 17 years of my life, I would not have wanted to spend the years of my education with anybody else. I would like to thank my family, some who have come from near and far to be here, for making me who I am. Mom and Abba, I would like to thank you always for inspiring me as the pioneer of the 5 Mets boys to be the best version of myself. My friends, my family, my classmates, and my teachers have all made the mountain of high school worth the climb. Thank you.
I always thought that graduating high school was such a foreign concept. In elementary school, the seniors all seemed like giants with long legs strutting around the upper school. They were enormous, mythical creatures towering over me that seemed so distant. I was like Jack, and those stairs to the high school were the beanstalk I was sure I was never going to climb. I could never be like them, up in the clouds, and if I was going to ascend those steps, that wouldn't happen for like 100 more years, right? Well, 100 more years was a lot closer than I thought it was. Everyone says that high school flies by and you don't even notice. Well, yeah, it flew by, but don't think for a second that I didn't notice it. Okay, so you know how in the movies when the high school kids are graduating and they go on like a camping trip and they all sit around a campfire reminiscing about the good and the bad times they had the last 4 years? And the camera goes up and suddenly it's a flashback montage of all those moments they're talking about. And everyone's laughing at the pool or they're pushing each other in a fight. And it's supposed to show the struggles of teenagehood and the growth to being adults. You know what I'm talking about, right? But I'm not sitting around a campfire. The camera is not going to man up and reveal my memories. So all I can do is relate to you in this short time a message from what I think I've learned. So here goes. This life will hit you hard, in the face. It'll wait for you to get back up just so it can kick you in the stomach. But getting the wind knocked out of you is the only way to remind your lungs how much they like the taste of air. Okay, full disclosure, I didn't write that, but it really resonated with me. I was in 10th grade. It was mid-volleyball season, and we were taking on a really tough team. I thought I was so ready for this game, but life had other plans for me. I got hit hard, in the face, with a volleyball. I wasn't expecting my life to change on that sunny afternoon in September. I had to get my life back together. I was craving the normalcy of school and getting back to my life. That normalcy was the air that my lungs wanted, and you never know how much you need it until you get the wind knocked out of you. Life throws crazy and unexpected things at us, but the only way to learn and grow is through experience. If I hadn't gotten hit, I wouldn't have learned some valuable skills like time management or compartmentalization, or what I think is the most important skill, deep breathing exercises to control stress. Experience builds character, and going to CTA has definitely been an experience. It's taught me about family, about Judaism, about friendship, and about life. I always wonder how I became this giant, towering over others. But in this movie of my life, I know that everyone who comes out of this place is a giant in some way, climbing the beanstalk to make our way to our future. And I cannot wait to stomp out into the rest of my life and take those lessons with me.
Since I was a little girl, I've always had some sort of plan. Coming to Columbus was never one of them. 6 years ago, I was the new Israeli girl that mistook a light switch for a fire alarm. I was shy and self-conscious of my new surrounding. I'm not going to stand up here and tell you it was all great and easy, because it wasn't. It was quite difficult and frustrating. I remember having to sit down with a personal tutor every day after school while my fellow classmates took part in sport teams or just hung out together. My vocab and grammar were at a very basic level, where dude and suck were crucial to formulate a conversation. It was hard words that made sentences not understandable and paragraphs impossible. Words as easy as function or mud. Even in math class, I would notice myself coming up with the right answer, 86. I would raise my hand and say 47. These 6 years in a foreign country enlightened and inspired me to challenge myself. Soon enough, my comfort zone became my enemy. I had my doubts to come to a different country, communicate in a different language, and become friends with snobbish Americans. This senior year was when I really pushed my limits and expanded my horizon towards downtown Columbus. I decided to take college classes at Columbus State Community College. I not only broadened my knowledge of my Arabic language and examined the human corpse, I had the opportunity to engage with people outside of my community. This would not have been possible without my parents working with CTA to create this experience. As an Israeli, I will be serving in the Army next winter as a part of my 2-year obligation for my country. Aside from being obligated, why am I drafting? Back when my family and I lived in Israel, I would be spending many holiday parties and adults gathering at my dad's base, surrounded by tanks and soldiers. Seeing all the veterans with their shiny silver badges on their left shoulder and the blue beret on the other, it was at that moment I knew I wanted to do the same. To do good by protecting my country, just like others have done in the past. The other day, my mom and I were talking about my graduation at the Shabbat table. My dad was learning Torah while we were reflecting back on my 2nd grade. Back then, my math skills weren't the best. I used to come home with D's and F's. My parents would be upset and often talk to my teachers about my best options to improve. 9 years ago, winter before 3rd grade, my older sister passed away from cancer. I was 8 and she was 9. Since that year, my family was never the same. Sadness and pain seemed to overflow our house, knowing there will always be a missing piece to be whole One night, I crawled up to my parents' bed, knowing my mom couldn't fall asleep either, and whispered in her ear, "Ima, I won't be a burden. I will make you proud." It's safe to say I never got another bad grade on a math test. This year, my sister was supposed to turn 19 and would have been a soldier in the army for a year. It is my honor to carry the family name as a female. It is my honor to carry the family name as a female for my sister and family in draft this winter. It's been a long run. Looking back at the 6 years at CTA, I've had such a privileged opportunity to mature in a Jewish environment, learn fluently another language, and explore the entire U.S., and become friends with those snobbish Americans, the different side of the globe. To my parents, I know I can be a lot sometimes. I can be disrespectful and seem ungrateful. It may not be obvious, but there is never a moment where I'm not grateful for all you did and do for me since day one. Trust me, I can't not be. If you know my dad, you know he reminds me about it every day. Thank you, Ima and Abba, for challenging me and aiming for the stars for me. I won't be a burden, and I hope I made you proud.
As a boarder, there are 2 words you must have ingrained in your head in order to be successful. Please and thank you. These 2 words will carry a boarder throughout their journey in high school. These words are so essential to a boarder because a boarder only survives off the kindness of others. A boarder only works when other people sacrifice for that boarder to be successful. These past 3 years, I've been using please, but today I want to use thank you. Thank you first to Mrs. Delman, my principal, my counselor, and a person who's always there for me when I needed her. A college question or just to talk, she was always there. Thank you to my Rebbe, Rabbi Savage, a young rabbi from Queens who showed up at our school, and from the day I met him, he's been somebody who embodies the word Rebbe. Whether it was staying outside my house to talk till 12 at night, or just talking to me about the ladies. He was always there for me. Thank you to Rabbi Kimchi and Rabbi Frankel, my NCSY rabbis, who showed me what it means to be a true servant of Hashem and the Jewish people, and for growing my faith more than I could ever imagine. Thank you to the Andrusiers and the Franks, 2 families who invited me into their houses and made me one of their own. Thank you to my fellow classmates who accepted into their tight-knit family a public school kid who, to be honest, wasn't the nicest of people. And to Yaakov and Yoni, I don't know how to thank you for the times we've had together and for the friendships you guys have given me. Thank you to my family. It wasn't always the easiest, but in the words of the wise Drake, Mama, we made it. Thank you to this community, to everyone here, because whether you know it or not, every single person has impacted and affected my life and my time in Columbus. And for that, I am forever grateful. And finally, to Hashem, for never ceasing to amaze with endless brachas and endless help, always providing and always by my side. I stand here giving this speech that I think speaks to this school and to this community. A school and a community that accepted me with open arms and was ready to nurture me. A school who transformed a young, lost public school kid into a future leader of the Jewish people. I daven that one day I'll be able to repay CTA for all that it's done for me and my family. But for now, I just say thank you. Thank you, CTA.
it's safe to assume that the person I am today is not the person I was when I walked through CTA's doors for the first time 2 years ago. In 11th grade, I made the choice by myself to pick up and leave my public school in Cincinnati, Ohio, and come to a Jewish school in Columbus for a reason I didn't know, apart from, they're Jewish and so am I, so what could go wrong? I came to the school with little knowledge or true understanding of Judaism itself. I always knew I was Jewish because when my kindergarten teacher passed out Christmas-themed coloring pages, I asked for something else because I was Jewish and Santa was not real, although that didn't end very well with the other non-Jewish students. In 7th grade, when my English class watched a documentary on the Holocaust, and everyone in my class wasn't paying attention, I was. I was the only person listening and the only Jew in Glen Estee Middle School. I felt something that day, a connection which I couldn't describe to those blank faces locked behind barbed wire wearing a Star of David. I knew something was missing, but I couldn't figure out what. Apart from the label of being a Jew, I didn't even know what that entailed or really anything about Judaism. I came to CTA not knowing how to read Hebrew, not knowing what Shabbos is. But I am leaving now after only 2 years not only knowing Hebrew, but translating Pasukim in Hebrew in a Chumash class. Thank you, Leah Savage. And the 39 laws on Shabbos and what they each entail in detail. Thanks, Rabbi Drandov. But what I learned from the school is more than just Hebrew, more than just the laws. I can now answer the question I had 2 years ago of why a Jewish school. I answered that question last summer when I went to Poland and visited the exact same concentration camp I saw in the old TV in the back of the room on a dusty shelf in my 7th grade classroom. I know why I refused to color Santa in kindergarten. I realized the answer to why a Jewish school was so clear, and I don't get why I didn't see it before. Because while the rest of the world tried to destroy Bnei Israel for generations, we are still here as strong as ever. So I feel like I have an obligation to the Jews before me and to myself that I embrace Judaism with immense pride and I carry on the traditions of my ancestors. I learned one needs to be proud of being a Jew because if you aren't proud, who will be? So I am leaving CTA with many things, an understanding of statistics which goes unparalleled, an idea of who I want to be, the tools I might need in my life if I want to be Jewish, and the honor to call myself a Jew. I just wanted to say thank you to Mrs. Delman for supporting me through my journey for 2 long years. Rabbi Tzali Friedman and Rabbi Kimchi, my NCSY rabbis, and anyone who has made my education possible and who has also supported me. Because now I can say I arrived with a question and I am now leaving with an answer.
Winnie the Pooh once said, "How lucky I am to have something that makes saying goodbye so hard." In this moment, I feel like Winnie the Pooh. As a student of Columbus Torah Academy since kindergarten in 2004, I now struggle to find a way to say goodbye. How do I summarize the framing years of my life thus far in only a few minutes on a stage? How do I give this school an ending to the relationship we have had together since I was 5 years old? I suppose there is only one way to say such a goodbye. Dear Columbus Torah Academy, I think we have both known this was coming for quite some time now. Listen, CTA, you really are amazing. There are very few other places in the world where a group of 11th grade girls can be found running around at 3 in the morning on a Saturday night through the hallways, racing against some 10th graders to find pretend blueprints for history class. There are very few other places in the world where I can have stashes of food in both of my lockers and the desks of 2 relatives working downstairs. CTA, you really are an amazing place. There is nothing quite like you in the world, but I think that after 13 long, amazing years, the time has come that we should see other people. I know. After this long-term relationship, it seemed like we were going to be together forever. Trust me, I know. On my first day of kindergarten, when you gave me the first of many things I received from you, a hat that read the year of my graduation, 2017 seemed so far away, but we had both known this day was coming for a long time. Listen, it's not you, it's me. After 13 years together, I've grown. I've changed, and it's time for me to move on. I've exchanged the blue t-shirt I wore on our first day together for a blue graduation gown. My writing has matured and become more complex than it was when I first wrote a story with you. You yourself have changed as well. The old Jim is now more new than the new Jim. The chalkboards I grew up with in the lower school have evolved into smartboards. As we have grown older, as we have changed, it has become apparent that we need to break up. This is the part where I should give you a cardboard box of everything you've given me. And I will return some things. My lockers, my textbooks, my senioritis, my reign as best Kahoot player ever. But if you do not mind, there are some things I would like to keep. Columbus Torah Academy, despite the fact that we are breaking up, I will be keeping the love of Torah, the pursuit of knowledge, and the personal connections you have given me. As I begin my new life with Nishma in Israel and Stern College in New York, I will continue to remember everything you have done for me and everything you have given me. As excited as I am to begin this new chapter in my life, the middle of my story, know that you will always be the beginning. Columbus Torah Academy, you are, were, and always will be my first love. And you know what they say, you never truly do forget a first love. Dear CTA, I hope we can remain close. Love always, Shannon Rizadi.
Wow, 13 years. For 13 years, I've been waking up at 6:55 a.m. and coming to the same place every single morning. Each year that I've spent in CTA has thrown new challenges at me, but has also taught me how to overcome them. You know how everyone tells you that high school is going to be 4 memorable years? Well, they were right, but there is something different about CTA. Only in CTA can you know who is walking in the hallway by the rhythm of their footsteps. Only in CTA can you play wiffle ball during class with your English teacher. Only in CTA does it feel like half of the high school is missing when only 4 kids aren't in school. At the beginning of this year, I found myself being looking forward to finally moving on from CTA and onto college. In August, as we donned the new uniform for the first time, I don't think I realized what moving on meant. Leaving CTA doesn't just mean attending a school which has more than 200 kids, but it also means parting from the people that you have been seeing every morning for the past 13 years. Although we have been together for many years, and some would say too many years, I will miss having the familiar environment that I have gotten used to. Over the past few years, each of my classmates has taught me something unique that I will carry with me throughout the next 4 years. My teachers have been great supporters and educators throughout my high school career. However, there are 2 people in this room who, if not for them, I wouldn't be standing in here in front of you all right now. If it weren't for my parents, who made the difficult decision 19 years ago to uproot their lives and sacrifice everything to immigrate from Uzbekistan to America, I would not have had the education that I've had, let alone a Jewish education. My parents left Uzbekistan with the hope of providing me with a better future and an endless amount of opportunities, and I intend to take advantage of all the opportunities that lie ahead. Mom and Dad, I hope I lived up to all of your dreams because you have certainly made all of mine come true.
Reverend Randolph, if you would come up and help me award the diplomas, please. Julia Beth Chase. Molly Rose Cohen. Shayna Caitlin Herzagi. Sivan Michal Import. Rose Charlotte Califf. Libby Rose Klin. Dasha Stephanie Cooperberg. Yaakov Michael Metz. Britton Pilot. Shachar Rasker. Gabriella Isabella Shasta. Jonathan Wolfson. And Noah Arizin. And now to induct into the next class for the Cum Laude Society, Mr. Steve Guinan and Ms. Amy Nyworth, please come up. Thank you.
Hi, see you. As president of the CTA chapter of the Cum Laude Society, I am proud to stand here tonight to induct from the class of 2017 the fifth group of members from Columbus Tour Academy. Founded in 1906 to recognize academic achievement in secondary schools, the Cum Laude Society seeks to promote learning and sound scholarship. This society is a fellowship of scholars whose purpose is to recognize excellence in academic work. As you pursue your education, it is our hope that you accept the honor of the membership in the society as a responsibility to make a contribution to the ongoing search for greater understanding of humanity and society.
The motto of the society is excellence, justice, honor. Excellence is referred to in the moral sense and is not limited to the ideal of superiority in scholarship, nor does it involve the endeavor of competing primarily for academic goals. Justice is meant to include the concept of what is suitable and appropriate. Honor includes the concept of dignity and truth.
The CTA chapter of the Cum Laude Society boasts the following CTA alumni: Leah Epstein, Jacob Portman, Mimi Wilhelm, Tehila Wenger, Emily Sobel, Hannah Schramm, Aaron Portman, Tal Benatar, Sam Rosenstein, Josh Blau, Emily Chase, Noah Portman, Keenan Sobel, Aaron Polster, Ellie Chase, David Polster, Becky Portman, and Ricky Shankar. If any of you are here today, please stand up and recognize.
This year, we are proud to induct Dasha Cooperberg, Julie Chase, and Molly Cohen as members of the Columbus Tour Academy chapter of the Cum Laude Society. In testimony of your admission to the Cum Laude Society by the authority of the society duly granted, we now present to you these certificates and membership pins. We would like to invite the parents to the bima to share in recognition with the inductees.
Now we call up our head of school, Rabbi Abraham Drandoff, to address the graduates.
Before I begin my formal remarks, I just have to say I'm really honored to share a stage with our graduates. They were just spectacular. I found myself laughing, crying, just blown away by their expression, how articulate they were, and how genuine. And I'm honored to be their head of school. In his early years, teachers told Thomas Edison that he was too stupid to learn anything. Work was no better for him. He was fired from his first two jobs, and both the reason explanation given was that he was not productive enough. At the time of Edison's death, there were over 1,000 patents with his name on it. He invented the phonograph, the electric light bulb, amongst many other things. Now there's a machlokas poskim, there's a difference in historians, whether it took 1,000 times or 10,000 times until he succeeded in inventing the electric light bulb. And during that time, there were many detractors, people trying to convince Thomas Edison to give up, telling him he's wasting his time. How much longer is he going to try to do this? When they asked Thomas Edison about this, he said something remarkable. He said, "I have not failed. I just found 10,000 ways that won't work." He also said, "Our greatest weakness lies in giving up. The most certain way to succeed is to try just one more time." Walt Disney in 1919, he was fired from a job with the Kansas City Star. And when he was fired, his boss told him the reason why is he lacked imagination and he had no good ideas. He also started a number of businesses in the entertainment field, and they failed. He was told when he designed Mickey Mouse that it would never work because women will not take to a design of a mouse. I think history told us otherwise, as he led one of the most successful entertainment businesses worldwide. Elvis Presley was told he couldn't sing, he should drive a truck. The Beatles were told they didn't have good sound and guitar music was out. Dr. Seuss, his first book, And to Think I Saw It on Mulberry Street, was rejected by 28 publishers. The theme of all these individuals and groups is they were told by others to give up. Don't follow their dream, it's not worth it. Circumstances lend itself that they should really just move on to something else. But they all persevered, they all had a dream, they had grit, and they followed through. There's a beautiful thought that many of the students in the school have heard from me because I love it and I think it's so fundamental, so important. The Talmud tells us that every child, every infant, when it's in the womb of its mother, is taught the entire Torah. But right before it's born, an angel places his hand on the mouth of the child, and the child forgets everything that it was taught. And the question is, why is it necessary? What's the point? Why teach Torah to the child, the entire Torah, for it to just forget everything? And there's two very important messages, very powerful lessons. One is that every single human being, every child, before they're born, are imbued with potential for great heights of spirituality and worthiness. And the reason why they forget the Torah is because it takes work when they live in this, when they enter this world, they have to fight hard to achieve that success. But that success is boundless, it's great, it's holy, but it takes a lot of work. The goal of CTA, our goal, is we want our students to have a strong, when they leave CTA, to have a strong Jewish identity. But we also want them to dream big. We want them to have the skills to pursue whatever it is in their life that they want to. They should have the confidence. They should have the ability to further their success and to be ambitious. In fact, recently our recent fundraiser, we called the Dream With Us. And it was not meant from a financial perspective. The Dream With Us concept defines what we want our children to do, which we want them to have the confidence to dream big and pursue those goals. And I'm confident that we're doing a good job at this. And the reason why is because I believe the hallmark of CTA is our teachers. And I really mean this. I work very closely with our teachers, and you will not find teachers that sacrifice more for their students. They love their students, they work hard, they extend themselves, they problem solve with them. And the reason why our teachers do this is because the advantage, the strength of CTA is the fact that we are a small school. And because of that, we know our students really well. We know their dreams, we know their potential, and we believe in each and every one of them. So for a teacher, how can we not join them, partner with our students to help them achieve those goals? I'd like to share a beautiful thought that I just heard from a Rebbe of mine, Rav Shlomo Price from Israel. The Kohen Gadol, the high priest, wears a choshen mishpat and wears a breastplate. And the breastplate has 12 beautiful stones, and each stone represents another one of the Shevet. Each stone represents one of the tribes. What's ironic is the name of these stones. The stones are called the Avnei Miluim, the filling stones. And Rashi tells us the reason for this name is simply because each stone fills a gap, fills a hole in the breastplate. And the obvious question is, here are these beautiful, gorgeous stones, each one representing the essence of one of the tribes that they correspond to. Avnei Miluim, filling stones, that's the best name that they can have. Why is that their name? And I heard a beautiful thought. Rabbi Price says the reason why is because the main value of something it's not its own intrinsic value in terms of its own beauty, but more the beauty, the essence of a person is what they can contribute and help with others. The fact that these stones serve a purpose of filling the hole, that is ultimately their purpose. That is ultimately their beauty. There are three things I want our graduates to take away today as they leave CTA. The first is, embrace your Jewish identity. Continue to strengthen it for the rest of your lives. The second, remember to dream. Remember to think big. Remember to embrace the failure because that's an opportunity to learn how you can be successful the next time. And the last time is, when you achieve that success, remember it's not for you, but it's to impact the rest of the world. And I'm going to ask from the bottom of my heart, please come back to visit us. They always do the first day of school, by the way. They always do. But come back to visit us. Share your dreams with us. Share the setbacks, because we know you're going to go incredible places. Mazel tov, congratulations.